Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Clash of the Reds podcast. I'm your host, the resident gooner, Danyaal. We have got a fully stacked panel today. Mr. Tamim, how are you, bro?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. I've forgotten about the City game already, so I'm good.
Yeah, well, I guess it was to the Scousers' benefit that I happened to be ill on that Tuesday when we were meant to go live. But we'll dive into that as well. We have a couple of United boys over here. Dr. Omar, how are you, bro? Oh, you're on mute, bro.
Sorry. Yeah, so no, all good. Can't complain. Yeah, it feels like ages ago since the United Tottenham game happened, so it feels like a distant memory now.
Yeah, again, we'll touch on that fixture as well. Second United boy, man, something, Dawg.
I love it. You gave me 3 genders. I just prayed for Miles and now wear the shirt with the devil on it. So yeah, please make dua for me. Very good seeing you again, bro.
And Liverpool must be sick because we have another doctor in the house, Dr. Zahid. How are you, bro?
I'm very well, thank you. Yeah, Liverpool at sometimes feel like they're on life support, honestly. But the international break came at a great time. I'm saying that in advance of us probably losing our next game, or at least drawing, at best drawing, I should say. But I'm hopeful. I have to be. There's nothing else.
we can do a bit of surgery into Liverpool's problems as well. Yeah, I guess that's the first place we should probably go to. Just a brief bit of insight into that Liverpool Man City match because it was the highlight fixture before the international break. Tamim, what went wrong?
Wow, where do I begin? A lot went wrong. So yeah, it was just it was a bad game all around. City well-deserved victory. You know, they were much better than us. No complaints there on the scoreline. No complaints overall. Yeah, they were the better team. Doku was the standout performer for them. I think he was brilliant. He had our team running everywhere around the pitch. We couldn't handle him at all. Bradley, I thought he did okay. Like there were moments where he did what he had to do, but yeah, Doku just he was pulling our team left, right, centre. Gravenberch had to get involved in trying to help Bradley contain him, and even then that wasn't working very well. But yeah, overall they were just much better than us. They were passing the ball better, defending, attacking, quicker than us, physically stronger than us. So yeah, well-deserved loss. I think the first goal, the penalty, was a simple defensive error, which is the running theme of our season again. It wasn't a long ball, it was just a silly mistake. I think Bradley had it covered. Looking at the replays, I think Bradley could have handled it, but Konate needlessly came over, bounced the ball off Doku, and then that's what led to the penalty. So very avoidable. I personally think the Van Dijk ruled out goal should have stood. Yeah, I might be biased, but I think it should have. I think there are plenty of similar instances, like Haaland versus Fulham. I think it was also Haaland versus Wolves, Man United versus Forest, where there were similar instances, and it got overturned and the goal was allowed.
Yeah, let me come in on this because I think it would be interesting to hear from some of the United boys first, but before I have my PGML rant. So, Omar, Dawg, what are your thoughts on the disallowed Van Dijk goal? Because it caused a lot of controversy.
So yeah, I kind of agree. I feel like it was a harsh decision. I can't remember it's been a couple of weeks now, so I can't remember the exact ins and outs of it. But I remember vaguely at the time thinking that was a harsh decision. What happened in the end? Who was it that they said was interfering with play?
Andy Robertson.
Robertson.
Yeah. I feel like if that happened against United, for United, then I would have been similarly peeved off as you guys are. I think it's one of the frustrating things with VAR at the moment that a lot of these mistakes seem to be happening when common sense should be there, which doesn't seem to be happening.
Oh well.
But I still, sorry.
Specifically, Michael Oliver, who was on VAR.
Yeah. It's usually that sort of trio: him, the Newcastle guy, and then the Howell Webb trio, and that's the headache that's being caused at the moment. Overall, though, I would still say that I am in favour of VAR. It just needs an overhaul, though. I don't think they should get rid of it, but it does need an overhaul.
Sorry, any thoughts on this goal?
I'm going to try and not get too emotional about this because I think it was just a ridiculous decision. I mean, how can he, if you look at the angles of the incident and you look at where Andy Robertson is, where the ball is, like where everything that happens, he's clearly not interfering with play. And the fact that that decision wasn't taken to allow the goal to stand, I think is just absolutely ridiculous. And it stinks of a lack of leadership within the refereeing community within PGMOL. They're too scared to make mistakes. Maybe that's our fault as fans and as pundits. There's so much criticism coming onto them that they're scared to make the right decision. But at the same time, I mean, it's the best league in the world, but they have amongst the worst referees in the world. And the system can be fantastic, but the people operating the system are making it horrible. I think it's just ridiculous. It stinks of a lack of direction and a lack of leadership. And for all the money that the Premier League generates, surely they can invest some of that money into qualified referees. It's just, honestly, that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, it's the FA who's in charge of the PGMOL. So like that body is kind of separate to the Premier League. But yes, something that definitely does need to be done with regards to upskilling or like outsourcing, increasing the diversity of referees that we have within the Premier League. Like they all seem to come from a particular region of England, either the northwest of England, or of a particular socio-economic and class background as well. So yeah, again, for me, like again, if that happened to an Arsenal player, I would have been livid. When Van Dijk's header did kind of hit the ball, yeah, again, Robertson wasn't interfering with play at that moment. When the corner went in, there were some clips of Robertson kind of pushing Donnarumma.
Come from an Arsenal fan, yeah.
No. I'm trying to keep it balanced here. Again, when I saw it, I think the goal should have been done. Should have been given. But yeah,
I think even as a local fan, if that decision went for us, I would still say that it's a ridiculous decision. Even if it went for us, I wouldn't agree with that decision regardless. I just think, yeah.
What
it's an unfortunate side effect.
What their argument was at the time was the linesman called offside, and again, it's just kind of the double standards what you kind of get with the PGMOL. Like they claimed because it was given as offside and as him interfering with play at that moment in time, VAR's only role at that moment is to see whether it's a clear and obvious error or not, rather than re-refereeing. But we know that's completely false because they re-referee decisions almost every single week. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to this Sunday because it's Michael Oliver refereeing us, who has a really atrocious record when it comes to refereeing Arsenal matches, and it's really baffling because like it was the Miles Lewis-Skelly incident that caused him to be removed from like refereeing Arsenal, and then to give him like such a high profile, high intensity fixture, to kind of reintroduce him to our team and our club, just seems really, really baffling to me. But anyway, I'm going to park that PGML discussion. Tamim, Zahid, any thoughts on Liverpool and City before we kind of conclude that talk and maybe discuss a little bit about the title race generally?
I guess, yeah, sure. Yeah, I guess would it have changed the outcome? Likely not. We were second best on the day. But ultimately, who knows? 1-1 is a different game, right? Psychologically, mentally, it could have pushed us to get a second goal, even if City dominated the second half again, But yeah, ultimately, we're second best. It was worrying to see. Defensively, the issues that were still there because we had obviously changed formation for the last 3 games against Villa, against Madrid, and things were looking on the up slightly. Especially defensively. It looked like we had tightened up when we had that midfield 3 of last year back again with Wirtz sort of put on the left side, and he started to play well as well. He was bullied against City. He was bullied. He was pressed. Pep got the tactics spot on, it looked like. They were pressing our midfield players, pressing Wirtz, letting Konate have the ball, which was a good tactic from them because Konate is pretty poor at passing, distributing the ball, bringing it forward. So they're quite, very smart with that. But yeah, with our midfield losing the battle, probably because they were trying to help Bradley with Doku. There was not much service to Salah. Ekitike was left isolated. Salah was locked down by O'Reilly. Yeah, you can't complain. I mean, I'm not going to use the disallowed goal as an excuse. It could have changed the game, but yeah, we were second best ultimately. So that's my thoughts. Yeah.
I would say I'd agree with everything that you said pretty much. I don't know what it is about this season. I don't know if the connection between the midfield, especially the defensive midfielder and our centre backs, if we've created more space between them or teams have just been able to expose it more. But I've never seen Konate look so leggy and he just looks like Mamadou Sakho on the ball. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, he went from this assured defender to being completely unconfident on the ball. And a lot of mistakes this season have come from him. And I don't know if it's just him being exposed or teams have realized that he's that weak link or his mind's already in Madrid. I don't know what it is. But yeah, it's very concerning. I mean, there's people amongst the fan base who cannot wait for AFCON to come, so Salah can get shipped out for a bit and we can change the formation. But I really did like, I think it was in our Champions League game, we played Wirtz on the right, and I think we looked really good. We had a lot of energy, a lot of creativity. But Salah is Salah. Like, he can have the absolute stinker of a game and he just turns up when you need him to. So I don't know if Slot has. I mean, he kept Klopp's team last season, and that led us to the title, right? Didn't change too much. Maybe he's transitioned a little too quickly, and maybe the team are just struggling to adapt to that. I'm not entirely sure, but obviously we've got a lot of new players and trying to get them to sort of come together. Kirkes is not playing very well, lacking a bit of confidence compared to how he was playing for Bournemouth. Completely different guy at the moment. I mean, Szoboszlai has been our best player this season. Like, he can play anywhere, and he's got lungs for days. But I'm really happy with Ekitike. Like, you can tell he's a finisher. He's very calm on the ball, but he looked completely isolated against City. Didn't really get any service. But yeah, if we can get Wirtz to actually, I mean, there's so many instances where Wirtz has had a almost assist, or he's almost scored, or he's almost set something up. It's just maybe our luck's just not in at the moment.
But, yeah, and he had those assists against Germany, didn't he? I didn't watch the international games, but just saw the clips, and yeah, his assists look good. It's like, we're just waiting for that to happen for us. Just waiting, and system issue for us, new league. So many different factors, isn't it? But we know the quality's there for him. We know it's there. So
I think it's been understated. So sorry, Tam, sorry to cut across. I think it's been understated how much you guys are missing Trent. Like, he kind of made your right hand tick. He was basically David Beckham at right back in terms of the balls he was putting across the pitch, like his creativity, and again, a lot of change in those fullback positions from Kirkes, Frimpong on the right, new players trying to adjust. I think this will be a transition year, and maybe the club envisaged it as well for Liverpool, just in the sense that it's Salah's last final contract. It's potentially Van Dijk's last final contract as well. I mean, looking at your fixtures going forward, I think Liverpool can pick up a bit of steam. We have a comment here from Mo. Is Slot the second coming of Ten Hag? Slot on Fraud Watch. I'm going to put in the United boys here on this one, because you guys obviously have some previous with Ten Hag.
In the words of Ten Hag himself, that's all I have to say.
I think we need to give him a bit more time. Obviously, with Ten Hag's first season, it was, compared to the other two seasons, was actually a pretty successful season. Carabao Cup, finished third. We're playing some decent football as well. And then, it just went all to pot in the second season. I think that second season was partly down to injuries, partly down to probably players starting to lose their trust in him. I would say we need to give Slot another season and a half before we can say whether he is the second coming of Ten Hag. Only reason I say that is, obviously, you guys won the league last year, and you've had a massive overhaul of your squad this year. So whether it's just a little blip in the road, or if this will continue, because that's the thing with Ten Hag. We wasn't always sure, is it a blip in the road, or is this just going to be a continuing downward trend? Because we had our ups and downs with him, but it was more downhill than it was up. So I think we need to give Slot a bit more time and see whether he steers ship or not.
Sorry, do you mind if I just jump off that? I mean, I don't know why people are criticising Slot too much. Like Omar said, he won the league in his first season. That's not a fluke. If it was by luck, then you would expect the other teams to kind of jump in. I think it's just a transition period now. A lot of these players are trying to get used to his way. I don't think Liverpool's in the title race anymore. I think that's all over. So if he can still get them top four, that'll be a good result. But I don't think it's fair to compare. I'm still a big fan of Ten Hag, though. I like him. I'd happily bring him back to United, but that's another conversation. It's spiteful.
I think with Ten Hag, maybe there's a bit of over-indexing from the United fan base with the cup wins. The Carabao Cup was like a very easy run to that final, where Newcastle weren't quite ready. There were question marks about whether you were in that title race. That was the year that Rashford went really, really hot and looked like a potential Ballon d'Or winner that year. And I do think United were fortunate to win the FA Cup the following year. So City had just won the league and were obviously in party mode. So I honestly don't think they cared about the FA Cup at that point. And league form was absolutely atrocious. Like you were mid-table by that point. So again, the league is the bread and butter. Slot on Fraud Watch, maybe not yet. He's got enough credit in the bank with that league title win. And if you look at it in terms of context, right? Like City have kind of beat Liverpool to a number of league titles. You could argue when like Liverpool were probably more deserving. You think about that ghost goal when they could have gone Centurions and Invincible. You think about those 94-point seasons, and if there was ever a kind of time for Liverpool to kind of get that league title, maybe last year was it, when everyone kind of fell away. But yeah, you need to be in the right place at the right time for Arteta to win the league. So yeah, I do agree with Dawg. I do think the title's over for Liverpool. What do you guys think? Liverpool was.
I think it's between City and Arsenal, to be honest. But I mean, if we're going to talk about Slot being on fraud watch after winning the league last season, where does that put Arteta last season then? Do you know what I mean? But I don't want to trigger you, Danyaal. But yeah, no, I think it's ridiculous, and it's just recency bias. I mean, not only did we win the league last season, we ended up getting knocked out in the Champions League. We topped the Champions League group. We got knocked out by PSG, who went on to win not only the Champions League, they continued to dominate after that as well. So, I mean, I think it's just. I think this season there's been a lot of change, like I said. So I think that's a bit of nonsense, really, a bit of rage bait.
So, Mo comes in. Could this be the worst title defense in history, considering the amount Liverpool invested this season? There was massive expectation for Liverpool to basically walk this league. 115 million pounds on Bertz, 130 million pounds on Isak, 80 million pounds on Ekitike. Like that, and let's not forget, Liverpool re-signed Mo Salah on like 400k a week. Liverpool re-signed Virgil van Dijk on similar amounts of money. Like they were your kind of pillars of that title win, if you like. I think Liverpool conceded like something like 19 goals or something like that, which was the worst since Liverpool had won the league in 1920. So kind of Liverpool matching their own poor records from previous title defenses, I guess. Worst title defense in history, I don't know, remains to be seen. Depends on how they come back and how they look at the rest of kind of their fixtures. Leicester's title defense was pretty poor after they had won it, to be fair. Let's see. If the downward trend and slope continues, then it very well could be.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what the final standings are, right? You know, what happens? I suppose you can answer that question at the end of the season, right? It's too early to say yes or no to that. It's definitely a horrible start, and then is it one of the worst starts of a title defending team? I'm not sure again on the stats of that, but yeah, probably is up there, I imagine. But yeah, we'll only know the answer to that question at the end of the season, and depending on what other teams have done as well. Yeah.
So
I'd also. Oh, sorry. Yeah, go for it.
No, go ahead. No, finish your point.
Yeah, I was just looking at that last question as well, considering the amount Liverpool have invested this season. I think the number makes it seem worse than it actually is, because it's not investing on top of a title-winning team. It's also, we had a lot of outgoings. We had Diaz leave, Trent leave. It's not the same team as last year. And a few others left as well. Elliott, Nunez, Jota, of course. They're all key parts of the squad. So it's not necessarily 400 million on top of a title-winning team. So yeah, I think that can make it seem like a different sort of thing. Yeah.
And I guess as well, like if you look at investment as a whole over the few years, like Liverpool really kept their powders dry until this summer. So yeah,
the best transfer window of my life.
Unfortunately, not the best season of your life. So like,
yeah. No, that's the problem. That is a problem. I mean, we have to see how the season goes. I mean, we're only in November. We haven't gone through the Christmas fixtures yet. So there's still a long way to go. There's still Champions League football to play. There's AFCON as well, so there's lots of change still to happen. So I wouldn't be making any early judgments at this stage, but there are obviously worrying signs for Liverpool.
I think what we haven't discussed, the Arsenal-Sunderland match. I see all you man's laughing, man. It was the third away game in a row. One of the excuses that Arnie Slot was using to discuss Liverpool's poor form. Considering basically we had all our forwards out, having to play Mikel Merino up top, you could basically see, especially in that first half, we lacked a bit of directness. Going up top in the second half, Zubimendi and Merino were kind of closer together. We kind of got a lot of the triangles going close to the pitch. So it was a completely different performance in that second half. Absolutely blew Sunderland away. Trossard's goal was incredible, like really, really deserving to win that game. Saka's finish was ace. The fact that he managed to get like a postage stamp finish on that right hand side. And yeah, like Eze comes off on the 88th minute, Mosquera comes on, and like mentally, the team essentially kind of took a mental defensive mindset, I think is the best way to put it, as soon as Eze came off. So everyone kind of retreated. There was a ball in the box. A Raya mistake that caused Robbie to kind of get the goal. And of course, there was a deflection off Gabriel's head. If you kind of look at some of the clips, again, we've had the kind of the fair share rub of the green. If you look at Arsenal versus Newcastle, there have been times when like it could have been argued Gabriel could have given away a penalty after we had got that winning goal. But luckily for us, it wasn't given. This time, like the bounces didn't happen for us. Like if I think back to your City Liverpool match, I think there was maybe 2 deflected goals. Haaland's header literally deflected off Konate's shoulder, and City's third goal as well got a deflection. We had so many shots on target in the second half, and it just needed like that nick of the ball to kind of take it into the back of the net. And obviously, it didn't happen for us. Sunderland worked for it. It was at the Stadium of Light. Well, we're very much footballed. Like we outperformed them in terms of XG, but like it was one of those typical kind of Barclays games, tough match under the lights, where it was really, really tough for Arsenal. And I think a lot of teams will drop points at the Stadium of Light this season. Really, really well coached, organised side. That shows a lot of heart and passion there. Again, it was a gut punch to concede that last minute goal. Even more of a gut punch when Merino's shot was kind of deflected off by Dan Ballard, then causing us a bit of pain. But we moved. We're still 4 points clear of City. I can't lie. I am nervous going into the North London derby. City have got Newcastle away, and if they win, they'll be 1 point behind us. And the North London derby is never an easy fixture, an easy game. We haven't discussed the Tottenham Man United match. Omar, Dawg, do you have any thoughts on that? And then I guess I can kind of do a bit of a North London derby preview once after you discuss Spurs. It's kind of good segue, I guess.
Yes, I was bit more annoyed about this draw compared to the draw against Forest. I think maybe because we're coming off the back of 2 draws and both in similar fashions where we were leading and then we just lose our head for 5-10 minutes and they pick it back. If we'd beaten Forest, then I would have happily taken an away draw to Spurs any day of the week. But the fact that it was 2 back-to-back draws like that in the same manner was quite disappointing. But at least the team is starting to show a little bit more fight. And last season, we wouldn't have come back in either of those matches. We would have just capitulated and probably let in a third. So in that sense, we are showing somewhat of an improvement. I still think there's a long way for us to go. But yeah, there's just something about this United team in the second half where we tend to, I don't know if it's fatigue, fitness issues, lack of concentration, but where we play well in the first half and then we end up falling back in the second. I was showing you guys the other day the half-time league table. And if we just take the results at half-time alone, I might be able to show you the screen actually. Let me see if I can share it. So I don't know if you can see that, but this is just the results at half-time alone. We would actually be second behind City. So yeah, it just goes to show that you can see that five wins on the trot there at the end of half-time. So yeah, we just need to sort of figure out where we're going wrong in the second half. Be it personnel issues, do we need slightly better substitutes, or is it just working on fitness to get us a little bit stronger there? But you can see, like, for example, where Arsenal are 4th, you can see testament to Arsenal that they've got the depth in squad and the concentration, the fitness to see out a game. We need to try and get to that point.
Yeah, really interesting kind of stats actually, and thoughts. Like we saw at the beginning of the season that Man United were underperforming their XG, but I'm a big believer in data. And you know, the Arsenal loss, the Brentford loss, I think the Fulham draw, like arguably, like United could have come away with some more wins there. Tamim asks, has Amarim finally got it right, or is it too early to say? Dawg, Omar, what were your thoughts?
I'd say it seems like we're heading in the right direction. I think the next few fixtures will be an important test for us because we're playing the more mid-level, lower-level teams, which last season would have been a bigger fight for us. But based on the way we're playing, we should, in theory, get more quite good points out of those games. That's why I think but with this United team, they're so up and down. You don't know which team are going to be arriving. So yeah, I think we'll see if our Amarim's on the right track over the next few matches. I think he is. It seems like there is an improvement in the squad, but I would still say it's a bit early to say before we get anywhere sort of where we're going to be challenging for the title or anything like that. It's also important we get some results over the next few matches because we'll be losing Brian Verma and Amad Diallo when AFCON starts, and that's a big chunk of our right side, particularly over that Christmas period where I think we have some tough matches over that period. So if we can iron out some results over the next few matches, then that will hopefully ease the pressure over the Christmas period.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, sorry. How does it feel, especially with these international fixtures just gone by, seeing Scott McTominay score a bicycle kick? Like, what he's done in Lazio.
Yeah.
In Napoli. Sorry, what he's done in Napoli. Like, the icon that he is. I mean, it's weird. Like, for me, seeing Trent at Madrid having an absolute stinker, I feel sorry for him to an extent because I loved him so much when he was a Liverpool player. But I'm also kind of happy that he's not excelling at the same time. How does it feel as a United fan seeing all of these players that have left all of a sudden? I mean, even Danny Welbeck, like at the ripe old age. It's just, how does it feel as a United fan? Like, what does it make you think of the system at United and those sorts of things?
So I think this was, for a lot of these players, I don't think any of the United fans wanted them go, particularly like players like Welbeck and McTominay, homegrown players, even players like Rashford. In an ideal world, I don't think United fans would have wanted to have got rid of him, but I think that particular situation just got to a point where both sides had to separate. But definitely not getting rid of McTominay, definitely not getting rid of Welbeck. There's quite a few players where you know they leave United, they go abroad, and then they start firing on all cylinders. Like Lukaku left United, went to Inter Milan, was one of their best strikers that season. There's quite a few examples there. So I think we're kind of just used to it over the past 5 to 10 years. It's just poor management, particularly when we're in that Ed Woodward period where he was sort of trying to create the Galacticos by just signing the top players and just getting rid of all the homegrown talent for cheap. But I think we're past that, particularly with Ineos in charge. Hopefully they don't get rid of, if they get rid of Manu, then we'll start answering some questions about what's happening with the youth squad there. But yeah, in terms of seeing these players abroad like McTominay doing well and stuff like that, I guess most fans are usually quite happy about it. None of us are actually bitter towards them. Would have preferred not to have seen them leave, but it was one of those situations we had. Particularly with McTominay, a lot of it was down to PSR. They wanted to get the pure profit from him, but definitely no one would have wanted to see him leave.
So, it's a good point what you mentioned there, Omar, with regards to like Woodward trying to sign the Galacticos. I think a lot of big clubs kind of go through this phase of status anxiety. They're worried about keeping their status in the top 4, keeping their status as challengers. Hence, Arsenal splashing £72 million on Pepe, trying to go for like older players. I remember when Emery came in, we went and got Lichtsteiner and players like Cedric Suarez, like older players who you kind of expect them to pour out the bag, like pour things out the bag. But what I think United have done well this time is kind of recruiting from the league. Maybe looked at Arsenal and Liverpool strategy in previous seasons, recruiting from the Premier League and recruiting at a good age as well. There's potential to sell on. I think that's like really, really important for some of these clubs now, like to try and stay PSR compliant. It's such a big factor. So we actually didn't touch on the Tottenham United match. So like you mentioned about like maybe being frustrated with the draw. What was absolutely hilarious was Richarlison celebrating like he'd won the World Cup, only for United to break Spurs' hearts. So like I was cheering like I was a United fan when De Ligt scored. There was a bit of hyperbole from some United fans over De Ligt saying, "Oh, he's the best defender in the league." I'm like, "Come on, guys, like calm down. Like it's one goal against a shaky Spurs team."
Sorry, are you as an Arsenal fan telling us to calm down?
Yes. Yes.
Seriously, let's be honest. Yeah, let's kind of like bring this back down to reality. This is on a plate for Arsenal now, isn't it? It's theirs to lose. Like, yeah, I know City's a couple of points behind, but then Arsenal need to just keep doing what they're doing. They could be champions. Like, Liverpool's not going to win this year. I think we know that. United's going to have a few up and down results. Everything Omar said is spot on. Had United won those 2 games against Forest and Tottenham, it might have been a couple of points behind you, but it's just temporary, Yeah, it's on the plate for you guys, isn't it? I know you're quietly confident, but I also know you're bricking it.
Like my confidence. Well, we haven't even touched on the Gabriel injury from Saturday. So he was playing a friendly for Senegal for Brazil versus Senegal. Adductor. He's getting super excited at the thought of Gabriel getting injured. So like that is a massive blow. Like he has been an absolute rock for us at centre half the season. In my opinion, if Gabriel was there, despite all the attacking injuries we had when we faced PSG, I think if Gabriel was there, we beat PSG. Maybe not comfortably, but we beat PSG because he's again, for me, he's been better than Saliba over the last couple of years. He's really turned into a leader at the back. The passion he displays, even his playmaking, like he's playing out from the back, has just been really, really good. He's going to be a massive, massive miss for us. Like you mentioned Haaland, Dawg. Like again, Gabriel has been a bit like Haaland for us, like with his set piece goals, his set piece assists. You just can't stop him. Like he'll have 3 or 4 players in the box, and it's such a skill to beat so many mans in the box and get his head on it. He's just elite at it. Is it Arsenal's to lose? Again, it's so early to say. We've got a really, really tough week ahead. Tottenham at home, North London derby. Anything can happen in these games. Bayern Munich in the Champions League, and then Chelsea away. It's not easy, man. It's not easy. And Arsenal desperately needs some attacking firepower back. When we met in person last week, Tamim, you asked, is Arsenal scared of City? Look, we're going against this machine, right? They've won X amount of league titles in so many years. The best coach, in my opinion, in the world, Pep Guardiola. Come January, they just click into gear. And because he's Zahid agreeing, because like Liverpool have been in these title races with City. They know what they kind of turn into. What we're the best position to win it, absolutely. I think City do have creaks in them. For me, like if we were to see the City of old, it's about getting Rodri back for them. Rodri back before his ACL. He was a Ballon d'Or winner. Like if he comes back to any levels that he had before, then it's worrying times for Arsenal. And again, one injury to Erling Haaland, and they're stuffed. But again, Liverpool went through it last season. Like Salah went completely nuclear, didn't get any injuries, and he essentially pushed them to the title. If he can stay fit, if Haaland can stay fit, then it's worrying times for us. But again, from an Arsenal perspective, we need to just keep doing what we're doing. Try to keep players fit, because that seems to be our biggest bugbear at the moment. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay, my connection froze. This Carpesh internet is infecting us all, man.
I think you just got a bit excited thinking about Arsenal's chances. You're like, oh.
I love how you're glazing Pep. It's only November and you're already glazing Pep in preparation for City lifting the title at the end of the season. I love how you're dropping that in already. But what I would say about Haaland, he's just got Norway into the World Cup. Like, he is on cloud 9. All he can do now is continue doing what he's doing, continue down the path of form that he's got. Like, his big worry about, leading his country to the World Cup, he's done his job now there. So now all he has to do is focus on City. I think he's going to have a stellar season, unfortunately. But yeah, worrying times. I mean, like you said, like we've been there, we've done that. We've seen how much of a well-oiled machine this City team is in a league format. I've got lots of Arsenal supporting cousins who, before this fixture between Liverpool and City, were talking about it being the worst rivalry in football because we just complement each other so much compared to the good old days of Sir Alex and Arsene Wenger. But it's true. I mean, look how many leagues they've won. They've done it back to back so many times. Like, what are you supposed to say?
It's true. You do glaze each other all the time.
Yeah, you're joining in now, aren't you?
With regards to Pep, like the reason why I think he's a GOAT, and United will probably be really upset at this, is the fact he's done it across multiple leagues in different countries. He went to Germany and won. Obviously, he, in my opinion, produced the best ever football side ever with that Barcelona team in 2011 with Messi, Iniesta, Xavi. Like it was football elegance, football supreme, in my opinion. That's why for me he's a GOAT. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if
I mean, you're biased as well.
Huh?
Look how many titles Sir Alex won though. Like just the sheer number. Like if you put them side by, obviously yes, he did it in multiple leagues, but you still got to look at the totals as well and take that into account. But yeah, no,
Tamim asks. Yeah, what do you guys think? I've given my take.
I know what you're doing right now. You're basically trying to big up Guardiola so that if Arsenal win, you'll be like, oh, well, you know, we lost to the greatest manager of all time. We're very honourable side. Don't give me all that rubbish, okay? Arsenal has been a scrub team. They've got the worst Premier League defence in title defence in history. The last one, the Invincibles, was in 2003-4. We didn't even have iPhones back then. For us to communicate like this, we'd have to meet up in person, yeah? So don't give me all this nonsense, yeah? All right? You're not in any... You see this? This team destroys Arsenal, all right? Don't give me all this nonsense about, oh, yeah, Guardiola, this, that. We can have that conversation about Man United and Barcelona. We can't do that with Arsenal, all right? Sorry, I have to get it out there, man. I'm raging right now. So I've been sitting here listening to this film for the last 5-10 minutes. What is this guy on about? You guys got rid of one of the best managers ever. And ever since you've done that, you've just become like this sort of like, oh, yeah, we're going to get top 4 now. We're going to get top 4. Win the league this year. That's what I'm going to say. Win the league. If you do not win the league, yeah, you're going to be the biggest banter club in history. All right? And remember.
No, mate.
Remember, yeah?
Banter, bro. Finish 15th is banter.
This shaitan's going to be haunting you forever, bro. Unless you win the league.
And Fergie's done it with worse squads as well, you know. There's always that whole, can Pep do it with limited options, you know? There's no denying how good Pep has been, you know, how great Pep has been. But yeah, with Fergie, you know, he's had Anderson, you know, Fabio, all these sort of mediocre players and still got them 2 titles. So,
and he has technically done it across multiple leagues because he did it in Scotland. And he's the only manager to have defeated Real Madrid in a European Cup final. And that was with Aberdeen.
It's okay, Omar, though, isn't it? Arteta, like, it's got a great philosophy.
You'll see, bro.
He's great.
We'll be having new GOAT conversations in a few seasons, inshallah.
But personally, I actually think it's probably the GOAT is Carlo Ancelotti. Because he's done it across, 5 leagues? He's won the league in 5 different countries. Is what 4 or 5 Champions Leagues he's won with, is it 2 or 3 different teams he's won it? So yeah, I would actually say he pips. And if he wins the World Cup with Brazil, then he definitely has to be the GOAT.
Yeah, I just realised that actually. I just remembered that he was manager of Brazil. It's the first time they've had a non-Brazilian, I think.
The third, but like the first time in like decades.
In a long time, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Arteta's got a better XG in it, man. Your data in it, bro.
It's all about the data, bro. It's all about the data. XG champions, we never sing that. Let's move on to the North London derby. Arsenal versus Tottenham. I don't rate Spurs. How, as you guys would imagine, they did make United look like absolute fools in that Europa League final, with the worst final I've ever witnessed in my entire life.
Oh my God, the worst hate watch of my life.
Absolutely. And to make matters worse, Spurs actually bloody won a trophy as well, man, to make matters worse. So thank you, United, for causing more misery to my life. I don't rate Tottenham. Thomas Frank is a good coach. He has got them a lot more organised. they do seem to be a better away side than home side. Their home record is pretty poor, but yeah, away from home, they seem to kind of cope with that pressure maybe slightly better in some ways. I think I already referenced it before. I'm worried about Michael Oliver. What are your thoughts on the highlight of the weekend, if you like, the main event of the weekend? I'll head over to Tamim first.
Yeah, I think it will be an easy. Well, I don't know about easy victory for Arsenal, but yeah, you guys should win that game. Tottenham, they've looked maybe slightly better defensively under Frank, but attacking wise, they've been pretty poor in some games. I think it was it against Man United where they didn't have a shot on target till like the 80th minute. The Champions League, was it a league game where they lost 1-0 to I think it was Newcastle or someone, but they didn't have a shot on target for the whole game. There's been many games where they've been very inconsistent and they've not looked like that much better than they did under Ange. Only defensively they've looked better. So I think you guys should have that game. I don't see it going any other way.
What's your prediction, Tamim?
I'll go 2-1. Yeah, I'll go 2-1.
Okay, United boys, since you just played them, what are your thoughts on the North London derby?
Probably you guys are at home, so probably 2-0 Arsenal.
I'm saying 2-1, but I don't know who. I think it's going to be a really close game. Yeah, it'll be interesting.
They always are. They always are. Zahid?
I mean, it's a derby and it's a massive one. I think Tottenham have looked more assured under Thomas Frank, less of the Tottenham way that we've seen in previous seasons. But recently they've fallen off form. Obviously, everything that happened with Jed Spence and I can't remember who else it was, but just there's been a bit of argy-bargy, as you say, in the team. A little bit of loss of cohesion, which I was surprised to see, and loss of direction as well. I don't know if with the international break he's had time to go back to the drawing board and plan things. Obviously, when he was at Brentford, he would have like the whole week to prepare games, and that was obviously a question about how he's going to factor that in being at Tottenham. But they started the season well. It's just recently they've not been doing very well. He's made a few changes to his lineup as well from when he started the season. Obviously, Brennan Johnson was sort of starting in the team. He's chopped and changed who he's got up front. I expect you to win this game. I don't see anything other than an Arsenal win. I don't know if Gabriel's injury is going to make a difference. Obviously, you've got 2 players for every position, so you should technically be fine. I think Calafiori should be fit. So if he's got that roaming role, I could see him scoring a screamer. I would not be surprised by that. I expect you to win 2-0, to be honest. Nothing less.
Yeah. I'm going to go 2-1 as well. I'm going to agree with Dawg. I do think we beat them. I'm less confident now without Gabriel, I have to say. I don't rate their attack. But yeah, these derby games, man, like just weird stuff happens all the time. And you just don't know kind of which way it will go. I'm hoping we get some sort of firepower back. Jesus was meant to be training just before the Sunderland match, actually. It was rumoured that he'd have like a behind the closed door games, but there's been no reports of that actually happening yet. Again, some rumours that Madueke might have been available for the Sunderland game. So it'll be interesting to see our bench for that match in particular. I'm just hoping we don't have Mikael Marino up top because as much as I love his goals, you could see in that Sunderland match how lacking in direction we were, in terms of like having the directness that Gyökeres would offer us, that running in behind. Like the team has been fine-tuned to having a lot of through balls. Though the stat from the Athletic that Arsenal were the team with the most through balls this season, and that's without having our skipper Ødegaard, who's kind of renowned for doing that. Yeah, again, missing him as well. So he's rumored to be coming back also. Yeah, I'm hopeful, and if we can get 3 points there, it's going to be a really interesting tie against Bayern. Who do you boys have? I know you have Forest first. Let's discuss that fixture as well. Like I'm expecting like a Liverpool whitewash here. Maybe not 2-0. So maybe not like a 3-4-0, but maybe like a 2-0. Liverpool boys, what are your thoughts?
There we go for Zahid.
I think with the change in management at Forest as well, I think, and like I said, with the fact that they've now had time with the international break to sort of get things figured out, I guess I expect them to be playing better. But I still expect us. I think, as per usual, we'll probably concede the first goal, and then either we'll come back and the game will either finish a draw, or we'll win. But I feel like Nottingham Forest will score the first goal. As sad as it is to say, but yeah, I expect us to win, but expect the unexpected at the moment with Liverpool this season.
I'm similar to Zahid. I think we should win this game. We have, despite the City result, and any team can lose to City, right? We've looked pretty good in the last few games. Well, better than we have been against Villa and Madrid. So I think we'll turn up. It'll be tough though because it's Dyche. It's just such a shame that Ange still isn't there. It would have been nice to have him for at least one more game. But yeah, with Dyche, the whole sort of parking the bus, counter-attacking football, which they did pretty well last season with Nuno. I'm a little bit worried about that. So yeah, conceding first, yeah, probably will happen. But I'm confident we can get the win. 2-1.
I don't know if Chris Wood is fit, but I could see a long ball over the top to Chris Wood. Typical Daesh style. Slotting it in. I wouldn't. Yeah.
Liverpool trauma right there, man. Van Dijk not liking long balls over the top. United guys, what were your thoughts on that game?
No, I thought I haven't really thought about it, to be honest, but I would say probably be a tougher game. Sean Dyche will gear them up to not lose, similar to what he did with us. I haven't really paid much attention to the thoughts to the Liverpool Forest match. Don't really look down the bottom half of the table these days.
That's a bit harsh on Liverpool, Omar. they're bad, but it's not that bad. Bottom half of the table.
hey, bro. Everton are only 3 points behind Liverpool, man. It's crazy.
And this is where we end the podcast. Yeah.
The table is very truncated at the moment. There's 3 points separating like 4th through to like 13th or something like that, isn't it? Crazy, something weird like that.
Yeah. The table hasn't really taken shape yet. Like from 3rd downwards. I guess by the time Christmas comes, you get a good idea about who's going to finish where.
You're level on points with us. You're just above us because it must be goal difference, I'm guessing. But it's United are 7th and Liverpool 8th. We're still in the top half. Still in the top half.
Thank you for that, Zahid.
This feels like Roy Hodgson all over again, man. Under Liverpool. And then the Monday night fixture is Man United versus Everton. Liverpool boys, I'll let you have your take on that match.
United versus Everton. Who's home?
United at home.
Tricky game. I think it's going to be a draw. I think Everton have been looking pretty solid. United have as well, of course. But yeah, Everton are a threat. And Grealish on the counter-attack and DA. I'm going 2-2.
But I don't know what it is about the United and Everton. That fixture always kicks up something. There's always some venom in that fixture. Going by form, really, United have drawn their last 2 games. Everton have drawn and won their last game. I could see another 2-2, to be honest. I wouldn't take that off the cards. Monday night fixture as well.
Yeah, I think United have been better at home this season compared to away. I think if it was away, I'd expect United to drop points. Yeah, I think that's a bit of a factor for them. Dawg, what's your prediction? Man United, Everton.
I just want United to avenge Ronaldo after Andros Townsend did that Sue celebration. That hurt, I still see that on my YouTube feed every so often. Have to report to YouTube for hate and harassment. So, yeah, it would be nice if United win, but I just feel like they've had their peak as well. They're just now going to give us very topsy-turvy type results. It'll probably end up being like a 1-1 or even a 2-2 for lucky, but yeah, we'll see. I bet United will go behind, then they'll start attacking and score, and then there'll be a lot of missed opportunities, as you do.
Omar?
I'll have a little bit of faith in the squad, and because we're at home, I'd say a 2-1 win. But as I said, it's not with confidence; it's with hope. Yeah, because we're so topsy-turvy these days. You never know which team's going to turn up.
I feel like if you get Diallo and Dorgu and those guys firing, then I think you should be fine to him.
Dorgu's trash, man. He's rubbish. I'm sorry to say. Like, I don't know what the club was thinking when signing him. Like, I was impressed with your summer signings, but him with the January signing was just really, really awful, man. Yeah, Ahmad. Yeah, I actually wanted us to sign him in January. I wanted anyone in January. I was looking at United players. So I was looking at Garnacho, for goodness sake. But yeah,
I mean, Rashford was linked, wasn't he?
Yeah, bro.
In January.
Like, again, I would have taken Rashford. Yeah. Again, some sort of firepower like that Champions League could have been ours, but it wasn't to be.
Now you got mediocrities, yeah. Not mediocres, I should say. Just hold up play, isn't he? That's all he does. Maybe he just muscle. He just muscle.
Watch, he'll start firing, man. He'll just unlucky to pick up that.
You know what? You need the Marino that plays for Spain to play for Arsenal. That's what you need,
bro.
Because he bangs in goals for Spain.
He scored something like 18 goals for club and country since February, which is kind of crazy. Like, no coach has kind of tapped into the fact that this guy probably, because he's 29 now, like he's just got such a good knack for scoring and arriving in the box. Yeah, like he scored 2 goals for us against Slavia Prague. He managed to get that goal for us against Newcastle to get us on equal terms. Like, put him in the box. Like, for me, he's the sort of player who breaks class in case.
Sounds like you're stuck in the Matrix, bro. He's still talking, isn't it?
R2D2 with us.
Oh, there you are.
Wait, are you talking about Marino?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, for me, he's.
Have you guys erected a statue for him because of his performance against Real Madrid? You didn't win the Champions League that year, but it was the greatest performance ever, wasn't it, Danyaal?
Yeah, man. Yeah, bro.
Remember. Sorry.
Liverpool were hyping the 1-0 against Madrid. Speaking of which, actually, Arsenal women beat Real Madrid today 2-1. So big up the Arsenal women today, man, for the win in the Champions League tonight, man.
Arsenal women.
Yeah, man. Two Champions Leagues. Yeah, more recent than United's one. So,
They should replace your men's squad if that's the case, man. What are you on about?
maybe they
What are you
should,
talking
bro.
about, man?
Maybe they should. Maybe they should.
I've got a question for you. I guess this is a question that might be answered, or it might cause more debate for next week. But do you think Saka is doing enough for the team in terms of goals and assists? Is he performing? Is he greedy enough? Should he be playing more of the Salah type of role that Salah played last season? Is he too much of a giver and not enough of a taker?
Man,
I guess,
yeah, go on.
but yeah, I think it's a valid question. It's a valid
No,
question because his contributions have not been as much as you'd expect from Starboy.
Yeah, I agree. I was having this discussion with some of my Arsenal boys fairly recently. Like, he started to come into a bit of form just before that Palace match, and then the Palace match came and he got sick. And then again, like he just kind of hadn't hit those same levels of form. I do think we should be expecting more of him. I think in Arteta's system, there is this requirement for everyone to drop back, everyone to help out in the defense. Last year, Salah had a bit more of a free role where I think he kind of had a bit more leeway to not defend in the same way that Saka is expected to in Arteta's system. But yeah, absolutely. I'm expecting more from him. He's coming towards his peak years now. Like, he's 24 now. I refuse to call him star boy anymore because he's become our star man. Before he did his hamstring, he was like on some ridiculous numbers in terms of goals and assists, particularly his assists. Or you mentioned there about being more of a giver. He was getting a lot more assists last year compared to goals. But both G and A was up there. We do need more from him. I think when looking at players, you kind of have to look at the context. Last season, we had Ødegaard out for a long stretch of time. Also, Jurgen Timber was in and out of the side. He had a lot of injuries. Ben White as well. So that right-hand pod from the 24-24 season, where like it was really, really looking all guns blazing, pardon the pun, like it wasn't there. It really, really wasn't there. Now, like, he's starting to have a bit more consistency in terms of having Timber on the right when he did have Gyökeres up top. Yeah, well, we want more from him. We expect more from him. Again, like what we saw his goal for England the other night. Like, again, as soon as he came on for England against Albania, it kind of turned the tide for England, in my opinion. We want more from him. We want more from Eza. Like, he's been our star signing. And again, he's playing in the Ødegaard role. And I think Arteta envisaged him playing on the left-hand side, similar to what he was doing for Palace. He kind of played on the left-hand side and was cutting in as a number 10 on that left-hand side. I think if Mikel had his preferred system, it would be Ødegaard in that right-hand pocket with Eza on the left. And he kind of hasn't had the chance to do that yet this season, which, again, once we get all our players back, it could be worrying time for the league. And, you know, we've been criticised for like not having that attacking consistency or fluency and, you know, goals in open play or whatever it is. But like, we haven't had our chief creators there to do it. So let's see. Any other thoughts, lads, or points on this before we wrap up?
I just love how Omar's transcripting the entire podcast. Like he's in a tribunal or court, just typing away. Nothing for me, man. Thank you.
Okay. Liverpool boys, any thoughts?
All good.
Okay.
Just a painful watch to come. Yeah.
A big thank you to all our listeners and subscribers. For anyone who's watching on Sparks's X or Twitter, please head over to YouTube and sub over there. It really helps out the channel. Again, I'm going to be at the Arsenal-Tottenham game. I have to take my Tottenham supporting mum to that match, as I do every season. So if we don't win, I'm going to be getting an ear from her. I might try and do a bit of a preview from the ground rather than a post analytical short. But let's see. It might be a bit tricky with mum being there. So let's see. Again, thank you to everyone. And we will catch you after the next round of fixtures. Over and out.